A disturbing story is shaking Nigeria right now. Soldiers who are supposed to protect us are crying out for help, and their story shows why our country keeps struggling with insecurity. In Warri Delta State, soldiers have accused their commander of stealing their money. But this is bigger than just one commander. This is about how corruption is destroying our security from the inside. At the 90 Amphibious Battalion in Koko, Warri, soldiers finally spoke up against their commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Garba. Here is what they are saying is happening. Oil companies like Chevron, Seplat, and Pan Ocean pay between 350,000 to 400,000 naira every month for each soldier protecting their facilities. But the soldiers, they only receive 40,000 naira. Where is the remaining 310,000 to 360,000 naira going? The soldiers say their commanders are pocketing it. The soldiers also say they are supposed to get 90,000 naira for feeding, but instead they receive poor quality food that is not enough. Think about this. These are men risking their lives every day. Men who leave their families to protect oil facilities. Men who face armed criminals and they are being cheated. Now, some people might say it's just soldiers complaining about money. But let me tell you why this affects every Nigerian. Firstly, hungry soldiers cannot protect you. When a soldier is worried about feeding his family, when he is angry because his commander stole his money, when he sees criminals living better than him, how can he focus on protecting citizens? A frustrated soldier becomes a weak link in our security chain. Secondly, this is how soldiers become criminals. Yes, I said it. When you cheat a man with a gun, when you push him to the wall, some will look for other ways to survive. We've had stories before, soldiers at checkpoints collecting bribes, soldiers working with kidnappers, soldiers selling weapons to criminals. Why? Because they are hungry, because they are angry, because the system has failed them. I'm not saying it is right. Crime is never right, but we must understand how corruption creates criminals, even among those meant to fight for crime. Thirdly, this weakens our entire security. Think about it. If a commander can steal 310,000 naira per soldier every month and nobody stops him, what message does that send? It tells other commanders you can do the same. It tells soldiers your leaders don't care about you. It tells criminals the army is weak and divided. We can defeat them. This is exactly why bandits, kidnappers, and terrorists are growing stronger while our soldiers are growing weaker. This worry story is not new. It is happening across Nigeria. Soldiers fighting Boko Haram in the northeast have complained about the same thing. Poor equipment, stolen allowances, bad food. Some soldiers have died not because terrorists were too strong, but because they did not have enough bullets. Not because they were not brave, but because their allowances were stolen and they could not even buy proper boots. Police officers face similar problems. We ask them to fight crime with bare hands. We don't pay them well. We don't give them food. We don't give them good vehicles or weapons. Then we wonder why crime is everywhere. The truth is simple. You cannot have security in a country where the people providing security are insecure themselves. When a soldier does not know if his family will eat today, he cannot think clearly about protecting your own family. When a police officer is struggling to pay school fees, he will look for other ways to make money, legal or illegal. This is the foundation of our insecurity problem. Not just Boko Haram, not just bandits, but the rot within our security system itself. This is why what these Warri soldiers did is so important. They spoke out. They refused to suffer in silence. For too long, Nigerian security personnel have been taught to just obey. Don't question your superior. Don't complain. Just do your job and keep quiet. But silence protects the corrupt. Silence allows bad commanders to keep stealing. Silence makes things worse. These soldiers are calling on the Chief of Defense Staff and the Chief of Army Staff to investigate. They want Lieutenant Colonel Garba removed. They want their full allowances paid. And you know what? They deserve to be heard. Every security officer in Nigeria, Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, Civil Defense should learn from this. Speak out when you are cheated. Report corrupt commanders. Demand your rights. Because when you speak out, you are not just fighting for yourself. You are fighting for better security for all Nigerians. When soldiers are well paid and well treated, they protect us better. When they know their leaders care about them, they care more about their duty. The government must listen. The military leadership must investigate, and Nigeria must support the soldiers who have found the courage to speak truth to power. To every security officer watching this, if you are facing similar problems, document it, report it, use proper channels, but don't stay silent. To the Nigerian government and military leadership, this is your wake-up call. You cannot fight insecurity with hungry, angry, and demoralized soldiers. Fix this problem now. To every Nigerian, when security officers speak out against corruption, support them, share their stories, put pressure on leaders to act, because their fight is our fight. The enemies of Nigeria are not just terrorists and criminals outside. They are also the corrupt commanders inside who are destroying our security system from within. These Warri soldiers have done something brave. They've shown us the truth about why Nigeria keeps losing the fight against insecurity. The question now is, what will we do about it? Will the government act? Will other soldiers speak up? Will Nigerians demand change? Or will we just forget the story in a few days and wonder why insecurity keeps getting worse? The choice is ours. If you found this video very important, please share it and subscribe to this channel. Let's keep this conversation going until something changes. See you in the next one, guys. Peace and love.